Most people live in a world of black or white, right or wrong, good or bad, either decided by their own self-beliefs or by society's standards. Really, it's the same thing. Because we're so ingrained in these beliefs, we forget that we actually have the power to change them. That's not to say that something bad like robbing a bank is actually okay and we should all do it. Rather, it's to see everything in our consciousness exactly as it is, neutral. Consciously deciding for ourselves whether to label it as good or bad. As we can see through gratitude practices, recognizing the blessings in stereotypically bad scenarios, and by bad scenarios I mean situations deemed unfortunate by our beliefs and therefore society at large. By doing this, we can start to see that by altering the way that event or that situation or that person is perceived to us in our mind, in turn actually alters our state of being and therefore our reactions to it and our overall emotional well-being. I recently went through a breakup. The person meant a huge amount to me and it was a really stereotypically difficult scenario. People came to me saying, "I'm so sorry," or "You deserve better, he shouldn't have treated you like that. I don't know how you put up with him for so long. I wish I was there with you to give you a hug. Don't worry, you can have a cry. It's alright, don't let this define you." And that's lovely advice, and I'm very grateful to those people. However, those typical responses are other people seeing you as a victim, empowering you nevertheless that you deserve better, but impressing that you were treated badly, and that you were a victim in some scenario. They're not saying that you can't rise from victimhood, but for me personally, seeing myself as a victim is a downward spiral. As soon as you see yourself as a victim, you then think that you deserve better, and when you don't get better, or when that person continues to treat you badly after they know that they should be doing their utmost to support, impress, empower you, you think, "This isn't fair, I deserve better, I'm not getting what I should be getting." And that is exactly why holding expectations on things, people, scenarios, situations, events can be disastrous. Think about it. A big event, a wedding, a birthday, a party, you don't want it to rain, you want it to be a beautiful day. You want everything to go smoothly, and if something doesn't, your expectations, your vision of that day has changed in an instant. So we need to be going into life without expectations of how things should be, expectations of knowing what society wants us to view things as. If you come home and realise you've dropped a £20 note on the floor, society is going to tell you that's a bad thing, but really you can see that as a positive. Someone else, potentially more needing of this money, will find this. Maybe someone will hand it in somewhere and they will feel great in themselves that they were able to do something good. The person who takes it may be able to buy themselves the first hot dinner they've had in a month. So rather than seeing something as not ideal for you, why don't you see it as a win-win situation and realise that actually in life there are no bad outcomes. There is never a bad outcome. So in this particular breakup that I went through, I knew that something wasn't right. Myself and the person said we needed a conversation to talk it through. We hadn't spoken in about 4 days. There was something definitely wrong. I was nervous going into the situation because I had no idea which way it was going to go, but I had peace. I was calm. I was in that situation with full acceptance and appreciation of the person because I knew that if we were to continue, we would be stronger than ever because we'd discussed, we'd talked, we'd been honest with each other. And if this was the end of the road and we weren't to carry on being together, then actually we were both better off. The pressure would be released. And by staying calm, myself and this person were able to remain friends. And we spent the evening together, we cooked dinner, and we still know that we can go to each other if we need support. Now, obviously, if it's too difficult for you to remain friends with a person after a breakup, this is just an example I'm using, then it is about distancing yourself from that person, knowing that you can't be around them because it is too difficult for you. But in doing that, you're able to remain neutral. If you were to be constantly thinking of this person or being around them and it was painful, acknowledge that emotion. You recognize it, but by just recognizing it and not stimulating thoughts as a result, saying, oh, I feel this way because, and I deserve better, or this is painful because he broke up with me, or I broke up with him because he was like that. They're thoughts you're associating to these feelings, but if you can see the feelings without associating the thought to them, that's where you find peace. That's where you can keep it neutral. So the neutrality mentality isn't about feeling nothing. It's about feeling anything and it meaning whatever you want it to be. It's about feeling anything and everything, but knowing that if the meaning behind that or the belief you have about that feeling doesn't serve you, change your belief about that feeling. Think about it. If someone you love dies, you're sad, but why do you feel sadness? Because you had such a strong connection with them in the first place. Because you cared about them. That's got to be something to be grateful for. You had someone in your life that meant so much to you, that when they died, you are sad because they meant something to you. Think about a life where you had nobody who meant anything to you, so anyone could die and you'd feel nothing. That's a pretty tragic existence. So let me repeat. It's not about feeling nothing. It's about feeling everything and seeing the magic, the sparkles, the blessings, the beauty in those feelings. It's seeing that actually with every feeling we get, that's a blessing, not only because we're alive enough to feel those things, but because those feelings mean something. And if the meaning doesn't serve you, consciously recognize that and change the meaning. This is how we turn wounds into wisdom. I was recently talking to a friend about this, and this particular friend had lost someone they loved and cared about as a result of the coronavirus. This person was young, they were very good friends, and this hit this person extremely hard. And she said to me, Izzie, I hear what you're saying, but I don't agree with it. I don't understand how it can be relevant during any scenario. I've recently lost this friend, and I don't see how you could possibly keep that neutral or see that as a positive. And let me repeat, it's not about forcing positivity. This is not about forcing yourself to be happy. You can do that, and sometimes in some cases that works, but it's about recognizing how you feel and realizing that it's not negative or positive, it's just neutral, and you decide whether it becomes, as a result of the thoughts you associate with that meaning, negative or positive. And again, if you can't do either, you keep it neutral. You don't have to make a decision. So this friend of mine, she explained the situation to me, and I said to her, look, first of all, I'm incredibly sorry. I can't imagine the feelings that you must be experiencing right now. But think about it this way. You don't know in the future if you're going to have a conversation with someone who's been through something similar or something even worse. And all they're going to be looking for is someone who can understand, someone who can listen from a knowing point of view, someone who's got that experience. And you, I said to my friend, have this experience because of what you've been through, because of the feelings that you're feeling, which are universal, let's remember. Every feeling is universal, no matter about the magnitude of it. It's universal. But you've got a specific example. You've dealt with grief, significant grief. You've loved and you've lost. And everybody's loved and lost, again, regardless of the magnitude of that love and loss, whether it's of a thing, a person, or a place. So the experiences that we go through, we can use to support others. Every day that goes by, everything we gain, we lose, everything we experience. Every time we feel like we've got pushed down, every roadblock we encounter, it's just more knowledge to add to our bank of knowledge and experience that we can then use to power ourselves forward and to help others. And these experiences, again, just solidify what we feel like our purpose in life is. What message do you want to share, and how can this experience, whether good or bad, support you in that? So don't view yourself as a victim. Everything that comes to you, No matter what, no matter who's died, no matter how ill you are, no matter how much money you've lost, whether you're homeless, whether you've lost a child, any scenario, again, this principle is universal. It's as universal as the emotions that we feel. Remember that no matter what comes to you, you're not a victim. And if you view yourself as a victim, it's very difficult to rise from that. Don't view yourself as a victor either, because if you're a victor, it means you won and someone else has lost. But actually, in this life, we have the power to know that we never lose. We never lose anything, because loss is an action. It's an active action. It's something that you have to do. It's something that you have to accept. It's something that you have to say that you've experienced. You haven't lost anything. You never lose anything. And actually, if you do ever think you've lost something, you've then gained 5 other things. You've gained the experience. You've gained wisdom. So don't focus on the victimhood you associate with the wound. Use the wound to give you wisdom, because wisdom will allow you to grow. But victimhood, you'll either stay the same or sink deeper. And one of my favourite quotes is, negativity is normal, but it's not successful. So I guess what I'm finishing with is, if you want to be normal, if you want to be average, if you want to come into this life and go out of this life, having minimally impacted others and yourself and those around you and leaving not really any trace of being here, that's your choice. But if you want to have had an influence on those around you, have done something, have left a mark, then please remember that you're not a victim. And any wounds you encounter, you can turn them into wisdom. And actually, they don't have to be wounds at all. It's just a neutral scenario. You decide whether you view it as a wound or you turn it into wisdom. I'm Izzie Miller. Thank you so much for watching this video. The neutrality mentality is game-changing. It's changed my life. And if you've put 110% focus into watching this video and really gauging what I'm saying, being receptive to this message, then I know it will be game-changing for you too. So please, if this has changed your perception of the world, maybe a week from now, 5 minutes from now, something happens in your life, and because of this video, because of what you've learned, not because of me, but because of what I'm telling you, because of this truth, you've come out better and those around you have been inspired and you've left a mark where you are, no matter wherever you are or however you are. You've made an influence somewhere, or you're wearing a bigger smile because of this video and people around you are smiling more because of how you've been as a result of this principle. Please let me know. Any examples, I'd love to hear them, absolutely would love to hear them. And equally, if you're dealing with something that is so intense and in your mind so negative, you don't know how to get out of it, you fully see yourself as a victim, or the thing that you've experienced or going through as bad, and you have no way of seeing it neutrally, let alone positively, let me know. I'd love to help you. Bye for now.